Hello everyone, it's Matt from Akuma Mods, back again with a unboxing video of the new Creality LD-002H. For my purposes, I usually just call it the LD-H, or for the older model, it's the LDR. So that's just my 2 cents on that, just to make it easier, because that's a mouthful to say. LDH and LDR is just a lot easier to say in my opinion, so I'm just gonna go with those. So if you hear me say those, that's the reason why. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to unboxing this and setting this up. As you guys can see, I do have the original LDR sitting right there, and it does have a print on it. And we will be doing a side-by-side comparison on prints and times and everything else with the same types of resins sometime this weekend. So by the time you guys see this video, I'll already be printing with this for a little while. And yeah, basically we'll be going from there. So already out of the box, we're kind of SOL, but it's not the end of the world because I do have another power plug. So this one came with, I think this is a European power plug, could be even Chinese, I don't know. Creality sent me this unit. Obviously it's a pre-production unit before they started shipping out, but that's fine. We have another power cord right here, so we'll leave that out there like that. Alright, so we have a package of some goodies here. We'll get to that in a second. Some replacement FET film, that's always good to have. We'll put that over there. Good packaging as usual by Creality. Now I know some people have reported that their units came damaged or cracked, or one person said that their screen was damaged and cracked. So hopefully we don't have that issue. Looks like it's packed very, very well, even better than the LDR was. And the reason why I say that is because they took the time to actually put some protection over the glass, not the glass, the cover, to make sure that it is good and ready to go once you get it. So let's take a gander at this. So, as you guys can probably tell already, there is a different variation in color between the LDH and the LDR. The LDR has more like a Prusa style color with it, where it's like orange and black. This one has more of like an Elegoo Mars tone to it, where it's black and red. Alright, let's go ahead and pop this tap off. Put that over there. That all out, this all out. Alrighty, this part out, and without breaking anything. Yeah, so it looks like packaging is way overdone compared to the LDR was. You have some extra covering to that. One thing I will say, a lot of people I got with the LDR, they were like, "Where's the build plate? It's not in here. Where'd it go?" Well, if you look, there's a little tiny notch cut out right here, and there's our build plate hidden inside. I had a couple people say, "Hey, you know, my Creality didn't come with a build plate." And one person actually decided to throw his styrofoam in a bonfire, and the next day he came out and he was like, "Well, I found my build plate, so here it is." So just to let you know, if you guys are missing a build plate, just make sure you check all of your plastic areas and everything. Make sure you're not missing anything. Okay. So this is the normal setup. Basically, it's not really any difference between this model and that model. Obviously, there are some slight changes that make it a little bit better. And we'll go over that in a second here, but for the most part, the design and everything, the bats, the build plate, the Z-axis, all the main machine functions are exactly the same as this. There is a slight difference in the size of the build plate. I believe it's 10 millimeters wider and 10 millimeters longer. The Z-axis height is still the same, and they're still at 160. But we go from 119 by 60, I think it was. Let me check here really quick. All right, so we go from 119 by 65 by 160 to 130 by 82. So it's actually, it's 10 and like 20 something. Yeah, something like that. I can't math right now. It's too late in the day. But yeah, it definitely has a bigger build plate, and that's because instead of this unit having a 5.5 inch screen, this actually has a 6.08 inch screen. And the reason for that is because it has a monochrome screen. This is a standard screen, so the life expectancy of this screen is going to be about 4 times longer than this expectancy. Now, I'll be honest, this machine has been proven itself time and time again. It's been a far better printer right off the bat and printing nonstop more efficiently and better than my Elegoo Mars has ever been, and my Anycubic Photon and Photon S have ever been, and even my my Mars Pro that I had. Which I don't have because it just stopped working. It wouldn't print right. So I sent it packing. So anyway, this one I've had pretty much no failures on, except for 2 that I didn't have proper supports placed on the model, and that's why they failed. But otherwise, mechanically, the machine has been far better than both my Elegoo and Anycubic printers. So just an FYI for that. All right, so let's get into the little bag of goodies. So we have our user manual, our warranty card, which I'll be honest, is just kind of like a joke almost. Most of the time people don't use that, especially if they're buying it through Amazon. Creality Invitation, be the next customer of Creality Cloud. So that was their new item that they just put out. So we'll have to take a look at that. I don't know if this goes with the resin printer or not. I know that's for their FDM, but maybe they included the resin printers. That would be really cool, because I don't see any Wi-Fi or anything like that on here. But we'll get into the menu in a second here. So yeah, just your typical user guide. Some filters, always good to have. I have about 1,000 of them. Oh my God, did they actually listen? Sort of. So it's better than the last one. The last spatula that they gave with the LDR was basically a straight edge. This does have a slight slant on it, but it's still not usable, so we're not going to use that. Your plastic scraper, so you get 2 scrapers. Paintbrush, so a lot of people asked what this was for, and that's actually to clean off your model. So if you don't have a wash and cure station like I do, you could actually use this and brush off your prints and make them look all nice and pretty. So we have 2 sets of Allen screws, Allen keys, an extra bag. Not really sure what was supposed to be in there. Maybe it was just extra. Our QC certified ticket, The data card, aka the USB. I'll be honest, I'm gonna probably swap that out. I'll use this for a test print, and then I'll be on my merry way, because I usually use SanDisk Cruisers, and I usually get a pack of 10 of those for the 16 gig model. 16 gig is really, you don't really need anything over, really anything 32, but I find that 16 gig is good enough for me in terms of using it for my printers. Sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in. Oh god, I'm destroying things. And see how we do. All right, let's go ahead and take this film off. Get that up out of here, and we're going to turn this bad boy on. Okay, so it looks like it's got the same type of screen, same setup. I don't know if you guys can see that in the back there, but it's got the same exact setup. We're going to both hit Tool and Tool on that. Same exact setup, manual, calibration, set Z, stop, clean VAT. We're going to hit back, system. We're going to turn off the volume because we don't like volume. That's very, very annoying. About, volume, service, language, and back. Print, obviously, you know, there's going to be different print setups. But for the most part, the menus are identical. So same LCD screen, same board setup. I know a lot of people had asked me to look into the boards and show off the differences. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to do that on camera, but I'll definitely get some shots of it when I get it all taken apart and everything. I'm not going to dismantle the entire unit. I'm just going to take off the side piece here, which basically exposes all of the board, and that way I can see what the difference is between the two boards here. So that'll let me know what the huge difference is, besides obviously the screen and the build volume. But we're going to go ahead and raise our build plates all the way up. So sound-wise, it sounds like it's still got a, I think they have 2208s in the LDR, and it sounds like they have the same 2208s, maybe even a 2209 on the LDH here. Same air filtration system that they have. Yeah, looks exactly the same. Looks like they went with a little bit different cable setup on this unit over the older one for the Z limit switch. Not a huge difference or improvement really that I can tell. Maybe a little. It's a little bit nicer. It's actually got a connector instead of, you know, two little prongs that are just soldered on there and shrink wrapped. So it does have a little bit better presentation than the LDR. All right, so I think that's far enough. So same setup with the VAT, where these come out, and then obviously if you hold them up and you unscrew them, you can actually take these out. I'll show you here right now. So if you need to, I usually take these out if I'm going to be pouring resin out of one side, just because these tend to get in the way. So, and then once I'm done, I'll screw them back down. Okay. All right, so there we have the bigger 6.08 inch screen. And I can't really read what this says. It says something in Chinese, but boom, we're going to be pulling that off. And it looks like there's some resin residue on the screen. It's not the end of the world. It's just probably some stuff that they used for testing it out, because I did notice that the build plate had some resin on it as well. One thing I do notice that they added on here was these little stoppers. I'll be honest, I didn't really have any issue with the build plate going into the back anywhere, because it has like this little notch out for the vat. So the vat actually fits in pretty well. So I didn't really have any issues with that, but it's nice to see that they just thought that, hey, maybe this might be an issue, and they added that onto it. So definitely a nice little addition. So let me get something to clean this off with. I know I don't have any shop towels. You guys can kill me for using paper towels. And then obviously we'll do a screen test on this, and then we'll be on our merry way to printing on this once we get all this stuff off. Okay, that's pretty good. Now again, this unit had been sent to me about 2 weeks ago, and I just haven't gotten around to doing the review on it and the unboxing for everything, but we're getting to it now since it's coming close to the time that they're going to be releasing and launching this. Now, when I unboxed the LDR, the build plate was already leveled and ready to go. I'm not expecting that to always be the case on all printers, but it's a nice extra added thing if you don't have to do anything when you unpack it. But we're going to try and do that again and see if that works. I'm not expecting much out of it, but hey, you never know. It could surprise me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a screen test here. Let's go back, and we're going to go calibrate. Yeah, we'll put that on for 15 seconds. So lights out, and we're going to hit this for 15 seconds. So looks like we're good. And one of the other things that this printer does boast is that it does have a new LED light source, which I can't really show you how the light source looks on the LDR because I do have that print in there and there's the VAT and everything. And it would take a while for me to get everything cleaned up and out of there. But it definitely does look different. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a better light source, but the way that it's set up reminds me of my higher end, smaller printer. I have a printer called a Hiya SQ1, and that printer has like an LED pad. Now, when they made that printer, they over-engineered it. It was like a $500 printer, and it was about the size of a, well, it was even smaller than a Sonic Mini even. But what they provided with it was just insane stuff, like higher end technology, uses nano DLP, dual linear rails, huge build plate. I mean, the thing probably weighs, it's half the size of this, and it probably weighs double what this printer does because it's just made with quality parts. So anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get this all set back up. And let's see what test prints are on here. Let's go to prints. And all right, so we have a system volume, troubleshooting, model, operation video, installation, software, and US driver. Okay, so that's probably for Shitu Box. So we're going to go into model. Okay, so they have two prints now. So they have a sphere print, which has changed. I don't have the print here by itself. Oh, actually, I do. So off of the LDR, I got this print, which, you know, decapitated itself after I removed it. So you had this little print. It's like some anime-looking girl. I don't know who it is. And then they had, of course, the Eiffel Tower, which came out amazingly. So that came off of the LDR. Now, they do still have that print, which is, this one was originally 16 hours, or maybe 19 hours, I forget. So let's go ahead and see what it says hour-wise to print this. And that'll give you an idea of exactly how much faster this model is over this. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're just going to do a ghost print right now. And the reason why I'm not printing right off the bat like I normally do is because I have to get some measurements for flex plates for that. And I also have to load up some other models on here. So I'm not really going to waste too much time doing all that stuff while you guys are watching me fiddle around with this or that. So I know you guys probably want to see it printing, but we'll come back around on that on the actual review video. But anyway, we'll do a ghost print, okay? So right now, we'll let that set off and see where it prints. Now, I don't suggest doing this for all prints. This is more or less like if you need to troubleshoot something with the LCD screen and you're having issues, do a ghost print. Okay, so that means nothing in the vat, nothing on there, whatever it may be. Wow. Okay. So, just to let you guys know, this says that this print will take 9 hours and 11 minutes. That is insanely fast compared to the 16 to 19 hours this one took. Okay? So, that's almost half of the time that this print would take. So when I printed this one and the other prints, it basically took me a day worth of printing. Actually, I think it was a little bit more than a day because one of them was 16 and one of them was 19. And I wish I had the original card. Maybe I do. You know what? Let me see if I still got the original card here. I might still have it. I do. So let's see here. Let's do a comparison, okay, between prints. All right, so that one said, what, it was 9 hours and some change, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to load up the original SD card. And I believe the original prints are still on here. I hope I didn't erase them. Nope, here we go. Okay. So here is the tower, and this is at 8 seconds. Okay, so that's still pretty quick. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're going to. Yeah, I figured it wasn't gonna let me. So it won't even let me test it out on this printer. So I can't even use the same type of models on that printer than I can the other printer. So, yeah, I can't even do that because I got resin in the vat, and if I start a print, I'm gonna fail the vat. So, unfortunately, you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it. But you guys can look it up online, and you'll see that these prints take a very, very long time on the LDR, whereas they take 6 hours less, 6 or 9 hours less, depending on what it is. So, and that was at 8 seconds. So that's insanely fast that this printer is already going. So again, I'm not really going to get too much into it. I know this is going to be kind of a weirder unboxing video, but I just more or less wanted to show off the printer and, you know, put out some key points that what's the difference between this one versus the older model. And that's really about it. But like I said, the size and everything is exactly the same in terms of the height and everything, and the whole entire machine build is exactly identical to the previous one. The LCD screens are exactly the same, the touch LCD screens. The USB ports are still on the side. It does not use a power pack, it just uses a straight plug. That's one of the things that I kind of like a lot better than most printers on the market, is that it doesn't come with this giant power brick that you see with most of these resin printers. Like this one is for my Spark Maker, okay? So my Spark Maker has an on-off switch because it doesn't have a power switch like some of these do. But most of these printers come with a line just like this and this big old power brick. I personally am not a big fan of that. I like the Creality design where it's just a direct feed power and you go from there. So it's really, really nice to see that. It's very, very unique. It was the first time that I ever saw it when I did the unboxing of the LDR. And, you know, that was really, really kind of weird because I had already ran a wire and everything to set it all up, and then I was like, oh, well, this is a nice surprise because I don't need a power brick for this. So it's kind of cool, at least in my opinion. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my review, guys. Not review, I'm sorry, my unboxing. I know I didn't really do much compared to the LDR or any other printers, but like I said, I got a lot of projects going on with this, and we're going to come back around, I want to say, in about a week or so, and just kind of show off some prints, and we're going to do a straight-up comparison between these two. We're going to do the same type of resin. We're probably going to use some, we got the Rep Wrapper 201. This is some new resin that's coming out on the market, or is out on the market at this point in time. And this is the gray color. We might even use the skin color depending on what we're doing. But yeah, we're going to load up the same type of models. We're going to do some comparison shots with it. And basically that's what this unit is going to be more or less about, is how much better is the monochrome over this. And the reason being for that comparison is this is a really, really budget-friendly printer that should produce very good quality. This one has been producing prints non-stop with very, very good quality. In fact, here's one that I just did. You guys might know what this print is. It's from the Fifth Element. This is the water element. And obviously there's some layer lines in that. So maybe we're going to try and print with that. And the reason why there's layer lines is because when we printed it flat. So the suction of the print was too great, and that's what caused those lines in there. So it's a common issue, and that's why you see people that, you know, print stuff on an angle and things like that. That is exactly the reason why, to eliminate layer lines. So when you think about that, that's exactly why you do that, to eliminate that issue. But anyway, we're going to try and get as much printing done as we can within the week. And we're going to get some real intricate prints. We're going to get some regular prints. We're going to get some, you know, prints that we're going to try and make some issues on it, much like this one. We're going to purposely, I wouldn't say, make it a disaster for us, but I'm gonna try and pinpoint every single part to see if this is that much better of a buy, because as of right now, looking at the Creality website, Creality 3D Official, which I believe is their real website, well, this one's a little bit different on the printer side. So Creality.com, they currently have this one for $199, and they have this one for $250 or $249 basically. So for $50 more, is it really worth that much to get the monochrome screen, or can I be okay with that one? I'll be honest, I think you'd be okay with that just right off the bat, but for $50 more, if you get a printer that has an LCD screen that lasts 4 times longer, supposedly, and has a little bit bigger build volume on it, by all means, get this one, because it'll probably produce a little bit better results. But again, we're going to look at that and see how much of a big comparison it is, and see, is it really worth to go monochrome over regular, because that's not really a topic I see a lot about. So I'm going to stop talking your guys' ear off. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of weird unboxing, and if you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and put them down below, and I'll answer you as fast as I can. Until next time, guys, happy printing.